Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to JoyNews Today. We're coming to you live from our studios in Kokomlimli. We're on DTT because we're free to air on DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 125. We are your home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. Coming up this afternoon, striking jurors promised a call of action after meeting the Chief Justice in Kumasi. Details of that meeting shortly. Also, National Media Commission flags programs of 13 TV stations following complaints about pornographic content, occultic practices, and money doubling. We'll hear the reaction of the Ghana Independent Broadcasters Associations in the wake of the NMC's sanctions. An Occupy Ghana and the Media Coalition Against Illegal Mining mounts pressure on government to pass a law that prohibits licensing of mining firms when engaged in mineral prospecting and forest reserves, more as the coalition vows not to rest until this is done. Plus, former President John Dramani Mahama begins a two-day tour of the Ahafo region. We are live in that region with all the updates. We have all of these for you, plus business, sports, world news, and showbiz coming up. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. We're also live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and X via Joy News on TV. My personal handle is @Denana Aisha. Please stay for details. Members of the Mines and Energy Committee of Parliament are in a crunch meeting with management of Electrochem Ghana Limited, a salt mining firm operating in Songo Lagoon in the Adan West District of the Greater Accra region. The committee is on a working visit to the company 12 days after residents of Toflokpo clashed with some staff of Electrochem Ghana Limited that allegedly led to the death of a 47-year-old Kolete woman. The clash, which happened on November 6, allegedly led to the death of this man. 12 days now, the Ghana Police Service is yet to make a public statement on the matter. Let's take you live to the Electrochem premises where my colleague Carlos Coloni is pitching camp and monitoring this meeting for us. Carlos, what can you tell us about this meeting? Hello, Carlos. Coloni is the one monitoring this for us. Once we get him, we'll be bringing you more on this meeting. Carlos, if you can hear me, tell me more about this meeting.
Of the Greater Accra region, where management of the Electrochem company is. All right, Aisha, I can say for a fact that we are currently at the Electrochem Ghana Limited here in the Adan West District, where the Parliamentary Select Committee on Mines and Energy is currently having a crunch meeting in the building you see in your shot with the management of Electrochem. I mean, the committee is being led by its chair, Atachia. We also saw Jinapo here, as well as Delasoa. Many of them are in that building, as you see, and they are having that meeting as we speak. If you recall, about 12 days ago, the staff of Electrochem actually clashed with some resident of Toflokpo, which allegedly led to the death of one 47-year-old Kolete woman. And so the committee is here on a working visit to understand exactly what actually happened to that particular young man. And we are understanding also is that after this meeting, the committee will be visiting the site, as you can see there in your shot, and they are likely to also go into the community to engage with the community. But we need to put on record that 12 days into this particular incident, the Ghana Police Service is yet to issue a statement on this matter, even though residents have given government 14 days to actually find the killers of Kolete women. So Aisha, that is the update from Electrochem Ghana Limited here in the Adan West District, where the Select Committee on Mines and Energy is actually in a crunch meeting with management of Electrochem Ghana Limited. Aisha.
For us, definitely there is more we'll be bringing your way in our subsequent bulletins once this meeting is over. But let's get to the Ashanti region, because striking jurors in the Ashanti region have committed to call over their strike and return to court after meeting the Chief Justice on their concerns. At the end of the meeting, Chief Justice Gertrude Tokono promised to follow up on the arrears owed them on condition they return to work. Foreman of the Juror Association says they will resume work on Monday. Nana Boachiyadon was in the Court of Appeal complex in Kumasi, where the meeting took place, and has filed this report.
Near 2 weeks of strike by the Juror Association of the Ashanti region to demand some 10 months unpaid arrears owed them by government. Today, in a fruitful meeting with Chief Justice Gertrude Tokono, the Chief Justice says the arrears owed the jurors must be paid. She criticized the fact that these arrears are not paid, but promised to follow up.
We agreed on systematic models moving forward, ensuring that weaknesses in the system such as double empanelling, too few jurors, all of that is removed very quickly. And we agreed on following on their allowances to make sure that it's paid early. But I think also critical for us to remember is that most of them are public servants, and so they're being paid their salaries. So in the interest of Mother Ghana, allowances should not lead to strike.
Which means that at the end of this meeting, the jurors will be calling off their strike. Is that...
They've promised me they will do so, and I know they will.
Which is as soon as possible.
They have promised, and I know they will keep to their promise.
But foreman of the Juror Association of the Ashanti region, Albert Aka, says they would be returning to court on Monday. He says they are officially calling off their strike.
She has asked us to return to court on Monday, and we have agreed to return to court. And as she promised, she said she's going to make sure that our allowance are paid in time. So on Monday, yes, why not? She's our mother. This is what that we were expecting long ago. And she has been in Kumasi with us. And she has even shown that she actually respects jurors in Kumasi. So that alone, we are grateful. We are grateful for her. So on Monday, we are coming. I will talk to my people on the platform, those who came and those who couldn't come, that on Monday we are coming to court to perform our duties that the state has assigned us to perform. On Monday, after meeting Chief Justice, we have resolved everything. So Monday we are coming to court.
After this fruitful meeting with the Chief Justice, Her Ladyship Gertrude Tokono, the jurors are expecting their 10 months arrears. For JoyNews, my name is Nana Boachi Dankwa-Yadom, the Appeal Court Complex, Kumasi.
Back here in Accra, the National Media Commission has flagged programs of 13 TV stations after receiving more than 318 complaints. The NMC and the National Communications Authority, in a joint monitoring report for the month of October, described the situation as staggering. The complainants reported some of the TV stations were showing pornography, occultic practices, and money-doubling content. President of the Ghana Independent Broadcasters Association, Giba, Cecil Sonkwa Mills, has been reacting to the development. I'll be bringing you that shortly, but first, let's see the statement that was issued by the National Media Commission detailing the TV stations that are involved. It includes Asumafo TV, Adrimpa TV, Eagle TV, Energy TV, Diamond TV, Asumdre TV, Advice TV, Big TV, Passion TV, Kabum, Seekers, and Elephant TV. They are the TV stations that are involved in this that have been flagged. And it says, as part of our collaboration to improve the quality of broadcasting in Ghana, the NMC and NCA has launched a joint project to identify and address deficits in the broadcast content. And using community standards approach, the project democratizes the involvement of citizens by highlighting their voice in regulatory interventions. And it goes on to say our half-month report shows the public had concerns about 318 incidents. The rest of the complaints related to fake loan schemes, people seeking to use fraudulent means to extract money from others. Cecil Sonkwa is president of Giba. He's been speaking to me on JoyNews Desk. Listen.
This is the new direction that we are heading. And I think we're part of the launch, and we are seeing that something is coming out of it. It's good to see that there is some action of identifying actually these infractions. What we have done on our side, well, the release came yesterday. We have reached out to the NMC because one of the things that we indicated during the launch was we wanted to see exactly the steps of action that will be taken and the process, and also the parties who were involved in executing this process so that it is fair and very transparent and impactful. So we're waiting for the NMC to clarify the steps for dealing with these stations based on the offenses, and then how we will be part and make sure that we and the GJA are also involved in making sure that this is done fairly. Well, I mean, we've always known that a lot of the laws and some of the regulations are a bit outdated, and it does not give them the opportunity to deal with it. They have said that there still are laws in the country that they can use to manage this situation. So that is why we want to sit down and look at how this is done. We had proposed that we actually bring on board a new law, which was the broadcasting law through the broadcasting bill, which would have encompassed this, giving a united front between the NCA and the NMC in terms of what should happen when such things do occur. It hasn't happened. We have asked for it a number of times in our speeches, and whenever there was the possibility, it hasn't happened. So in the interim, that is why we said, okay, if now you're going to identify these infractions, let's sit around the table and tell us exactly how you chart this path. We have code of ethics, but ethics is ethics. Okay, it may not be law, it may not necessarily run into certain aspects they want, but let's see what we can create around the table. So once they brought us on board, including GJ and Prempag, let's discuss and see what will happen.
Cecil Sonkwa Mills is the president of Giba. Let's turn our attention to illegal mining, because Occupy Ghana and the Media Coalition Against Illegal Mining have called on the government as a matter of urgency to enact a law that forbids the Minerals Commission from granting any mining or drilling permit, license or lease or any other associated activity in all forest reserves and significant biodiversity areas. It follows the Minerals Commission's denial of a license requested by a mining company to mine in the Kakum National Park. And that joint statement we'll be sharing with you shortly. It reads, Occupy Ghana and Media Coalition Against Galamsey were considerably concerned at the news that some mining rights had been granted or recognized over the Kakum forest. We have noted the Minerals Commission's undated letter, which says indeed they had received such an application but has rejected it. Now, the press release did not say whether the application was for a reconnaissance or prospecting license or mining lease, or whether this high street company had acquired other permits from either Forestry Commission, EPA. The Minerals Commission's rejection of the application, assurance that no mineral rights shall be considered in the Kakum National Park, gives us little or no comfort, because mining operations have taken place in Ghana and in our forest reserves behind the Minerals Commission by persons who claim to have obtained other permits from the Forestry Commission and EPA. Well, Ken Ashigbe, who is convener of the Coalition Against Illegal Mining, says they will not rest until push Parliament to pass that law. He spoke on JoyNews Desk.
The first thing that needs to happen, and after this, apart from this press release, we are preparing memos to Parliament, asking them to revoke this regulation. Not only that, but they also should revoke the EI 144, the cessation of forest reserve instrument, also that was passed. That needs to be revoked. And then after we revoke that, we now need to put in place a law. At least if the law is there, if we don't implement it like the way we've not been implementing a lot of our laws and our policies, it then can give opportunity for you and I, as citizens of this country, to go to court if we see them continuing to do that. So it's not, I agree with you, it's not enough just to get the law passed, but it's a necessity that we need to get. And then we need to get everybody worried about the current state of affairs. The next steps would be after this press release that we've had you help us, and I'm sure the President and the Speaker of Parliament would all hear of this. We're going to be writing memos to Parliament. And because of the EI as well, I'm pretty sure we also will be getting to the President. If that does not yield any results, the plan at this stage is to see how we can mobilize all Ghanaians. And we're thinking of doing it in twofold. So we're planning in my thoughts, and that what I've shared with my colleagues, we'll do a prayer protest. So it is prayer in one form, but it's also a protest that we carry our placards, have petitions that we take to government, asking them for this revocation. So we will definitely be getting in touch with the Catholic Bishops' Conference, the Christian Council, the Pentecostal Council, the Office of the Chief Imam, so that on a particular day we can mobilize all Ghanaians and let the politicians, let Parliament, let the executive know that we are actually against this, and really let them know that this is something that we would not, countenance.
Ken Ashigbe is the convener of the media coalition against illegal mining. Still on mining activities, they're expected to take off within the Nini Forest Reserve in 2024, pending cabinet approval of a mining lease and parliamentary ratification. Mineral resource estimates conducted by Rockshore, a private entity that will partner Giba to mine for bauxite in the forest reserve, estimates that the Nini Forest Reserve is endowed with some 375 million tons of bauxite in 3 hills alone. Presenting the report to President Akufo-Addo at the Jubilee House, Deputy Minister in charge of mining, Miriku Duka, said they did a good job.
The initial plan to mine in the Nini Forest Reserve became controversial the very first day the idea was mooted. The justification has been that it will accelerate Ghana's quest to build a viable integrated aluminium and steel industry. However, the pushback has been massive. Members of the Nini community, civil society groups, and environmentalists have spoken strongly against the idea. Traditional authority within the Tunnel of Fame enclave in 2020, in a statement, accused Giba of not being transparent as far as plans to mine bauxite in the area were concerned. But it appears government is having its way.
The Nini range has 10 hills. Pursuant to the MOU, Mr. President, Rockshore was assigned 3 hills, that is hills 4, 5, and 6, to undertake mineral resource estimate in these areas. The purpose of the MRE was to assess the quantity and quality of bauxite resources available at these sites, in accordance with international principles and standards. Mr. President, I am this afternoon, on behalf of my minister, happy to report that the MRE has been completed, and now we know the quality and quantity of bauxite in these areas. And we are, by this report, happy also to indicate to you that Giba has collaborated well with Rockshore, and these 2 teams or institutions have the highlights of this report, and they will be presented soon to you, Mr. President. Suffice to say that the completion of the MRE paves way for us to move into the mining stage of the operation and present a promising opportunity for building an integrated aluminium industry here in our country.
CEO of GIADEC, Michael Ansa, said the quantity of bauxite identified in the Nyinahin forest and range meets international standard and gives his outfit the confidence to approach financial institutions to help fund some projects.
Meanwhile, the Ghana Integrated Aluminium Corporation has disclosed the feasibility of mining about 500,000 tons of bauxite from Hills 1 to 6 of the Nyinahin range in the Ashanti region. It follows a successful completion of the mineral resource estimate, underscoring major progress in constructing a bauxite mine with a refinery solution. During a visit to the Asante, CEO of the corporation, Michael Ansa, indicated the environment and social impact analysis has been done to ensure responsible mining. Clinton Yeboah has more.
In executing Project 2 under the integrated aluminium industry, the Ghana Integrated Aluminium Corporation announced a significant surge in the estimated quantity of bauxite resources in the Nyinahin area in the Ashanti region. This was reviewed in the steps towards the realization of Ghana's national objective to add value to bauxite mining. CEO of Ghana Integrated Aluminium Corporation, Michael Ansa, announced a minimum of 375 million tons in the Hills 4, 5 and 6 of the Nyinahin range.
This is the mineral resource estimation for a significant part of the Nyinahin bauxite resources. And Rockshaw and GIADEC have been working together on the processes around how we begin to exploit the resources, develop an integrated plan, including mining and a refinery solution. Following all of this work, we've been able to establish bauxite reserves in the order of some 375 million tons in the Hills 4, 5 and 6 of Nyinahin range. You recall that earlier on, GIADEC had carried out a verification of the first 3 hills in Nyinahin, Hills 1, 2, 3. That came to 116 million metric tons. So together we are looking at some 500,000 tons of bauxite from Hills 1 to Hills 6 that have been qualified in line with international standards. And these international standards are a very important thing that this has been, MRE has been done in terms of the JOG standard. And therefore, that makes it a bankable.
Flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, John Dramani Mahama, has commenced a 2-day tour of the Bono region dubbed Building Ghana Tour. The exercise will focus on meeting the electorate while announcing his bid to regain power as president in the 2024 elections. Party supporters this morning welcomed him to the region. Nanaya Ojima was at the Sunyani airport for the arrival and has filed this report.
Few minutes ago, the flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, John Mahama, arrived here at the Sunyani airport. Behind me are some of the party supporters who came to meet him and welcome him here at the Sunyani airport. As you can hear, they're excited about his arrival and they believe that the NDC will return back to power to save Ghana. Let me have an engagement with some of them. Let's listen to them and why they love the NDC so much. Ma, Akwaba, about JoyNews. So, I didn't tell you what about how Jem coming.
Yeah, but what John? He said, "Yeah, but person one bra 2024. No magic power, no. Now ya bra, ya bra."
All right. What they are saying is that they are expecting John Mahama to return to power to save Ghana. So the convoy is moving and we'll be with him to give us updates on what's happening.
Nana Ojima, who is on the campaign tour, he joins us with more. Nana, where currently is the former president and what has he been saying?
So from the Sunyani airport, the former president or the flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, John Mahama, moved straight to Wenti. Presently, he is paying a courtesy call on the Wenti Traditional Authority. Moments ago, we had the chairman of the NDC, Johnson Stephen Ketia, putting the mission before the Wenchi Traditional Authority. And what he is saying is that the John Mahama campaign, or the tour that John Mahama is having here in the Bono region, is to outdoor himself to the people of Wenchi, let them know that he is trying to see the comeback in Ghana's politics, and the mission for, or the reason for this comeback is to help save the country, as he said. From here, the Wenchi Traditional Authority, or the meeting, he will be meeting some the Muslim community within Wenchi at the Wenchi Central Mosque. From there, he will move straight into a town hall meeting with the people of Wenchi, where he will be taking the concerns of the people, and these concerns are to be fed into the NDC manifesto, which they will adopt next year for the campaign period. So presently, that is what John Mahama is up to here in Wenchi.
Now, Giba, with that update from the Bono region, where the former President John Mahama is currently touring, we'll be bringing you more on this tour in our subsequent bulletins. Let's head to Parliament, where MP for Lada Dekotopon Ritana Odolesoa says she and her constituents do not trust the government over its latest promise on the demolished General Hospital. Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta announced in the 2024 budget that a contractor working on the project will be paid to mobilize the site by next week. The MP says she does not believe this promise will be met after several failed assurances. My colleague, parliamentary correspondent Kweku Asante, has joined me with more. Kweku, she's been providing an update on the struggles of her constituents to access healthcare. Hello, Kweku. Kweku, kindly unmute for me.
Dennis, according to Rita now, Odolesoa, the struggle of the constituents are real, that in fact there are so many members of the community who do not have access to healthcare, and that over the past few months, they have made a makeshift hospital structure within the Ladadikotopon community to try and serve the needs of community members. But because the community is so large, so many of them would have to rely on private facilities, which is much more expensive than they can mobilize and pay for. And so it is an expectation and a hope that despite the previous failed promises that government had made to the constituents, that this contractor will be paid in time. We know now that the cost of the project has been revised from 68 to 50 million, and she's hopeful that that money will be paid to the contractor. The contractor will mobilize that as soon as next week so that the facility will finish by the end of 2024, as government is promising, because she believes the demand that is coming to us, MP, so many people coming to her for hospital bills, to go to private facilities, these are not things that she can continue. But ultimately, if the promise is met to these community members, then the hospital will come into fruition and the people of La can get access from the ones existing like General Hospital.
Kweku, what else is Parliament considering?
This morning, the biggest agenda has to do with the proposed syndicated loan. The Cocoa Board is seeking approval of $800 million to purchase cocoa beans from farmers. Over the last few weeks, we have been hearing stories about Cocoa Board's struggle to raise revenue to pay cocoa farmers who have had their cocoa beans sent to Cocoa Board outlets across the country. This $800 million is expected to go to the farmers, and some of them will also aid in Cocoa Board's administrative expenses. And so the Finance and Food and Agri committees are expected to present their reports any moment from now. The House has not started sitting, but this report is expected to be the biggest item for today. Then there will be questions for the roads and highways minister, who will also answer questions about deplorable roads across the country, stored road projects across the country, and how government is finding money to pay contractors to return to site. Aisha.
Kweku Asante is our parliamentary affairs correspondent. Definitely there's more we'll be bringing your way from Parliament in our subsequent bulletins. In the Ashanti region, that Santehene Otumfuo II has asked chiefs to prevail on the government, including members of Parliament, to account for stalled projects in that region. Among these are the phase 2 of both the KJTM markets, the Kumasi International Airport and the road project, as well as the Komfa Noche Teaching Hospital Maternity and Children's Block. Earlier this year, it was reported that contractors had abandoned the project sites over unpaid arrears owed them by the government. Addressing the Ashanti Regional House of Chiefs, Asantehene said chiefs should not sit aloof but demand answers.
Yeah, can I say Monso idea near? So, Metia me was an animal pe concrete call Mampenyo Cocasi and
Nananum, what are we also doing? I see a lot of chiefs going to the president for favors. Have we done same for the airports and our roads? Let's ask ourselves.
Acquire more can yeches can Yakoa Quacabi. And yes, you must say why. Contract a man of contract or buy and yet never chose the amount of contract now. For any Abrenos then Nisika Yamfama no what was an Amanakacho. And T Monana no yet natural knows one yet Yansu ya said the NSA. Monana not also Nayana also said the NSA. Oh, see, and see a cocoa tea being you catch as a Nanampa.
We apologize for the breaking sound. This story will be brought to you in our subsequent bulletins. We'll take a break, and when we return, there is business.
Hello, welcome. Time to do business with me, Emma Davis. The Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry says it's in talk with the Ghana Exim Bank to provide cheaper funding for Ghanaian women SMEs. According to the chamber, it is imperative for these women to compete favorably under the African Continental Free Trade Area, just like other trading counterparts. Speaking to Joy Business at the GIZ-GNCCI National Women Conference on AFTA, President of the Chamber, Dr. Clement Osei-Amoako, said there must be deliberate effort to support women SMEs in that regard.
Trade under the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement, GIZ, in partnership with the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, have organized the National Women Conference on AFTA to provide them with tailor-made solutions on how to leverage on the Trade Pact in order to compete favorably. Dr. Clement Osei-Amoako is the president of the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry.
The AFTA, a flagship project of the Agenda 2063, goes beyond facilitating trade. It serves as a catalyst for uplifting our community and empowering individuals to overcome poverty through the creation of an enabling environment where they can thrive in an economic integrated continent. However, this vision to materialize, we must ensure inclusivity and sustainable socio-economic development.
He tells Joy Business his chamber is in talks with Exim Bank and other stakeholders on how to provide cheaper source of funding to Ghanaian entrepreneurs ply their trade in exports.
But exports is the best for every country to thrive on. Once we are doing international trade, export has more advantage than import. And so government, together with us, must see the essence of exporting. And so even if you have to get a cost of fund very low for them to penetrate, and I must say that here, we must look at our competitive and comparative advantage, those that we can produce at a lower cost to be able to penetrate the market, because the consumer has a perfect knowledge of the market in terms of prices. Yes, we are going to work with the government, we are going to work with other bodies together with the Exim Bank and sit down with Ministry of Trade and other people to make sure that our women, and for that matter the entire people who want to export in Africa, have a reasonable and a very, reduced interest rate to be able to patronize.
Programs Officer, Enterprise Support and Trade in Finance at AFTA, Utoche Divine, called for the review of the country's trade laws to support women who want to compete under AFTA.
There's a need for us to integrate AFCFTA into our trade laws as a country to align with the AFCFTA objective. So the NCO, under one of our thematic areas captured in our national policy framework, which is trade policy, we are currently reviewing our trade laws to see that they align with the AFCFTA. In the context of women, women form a very chunk of our cross-border trade. So there's a need for us to also integrate women and youth in our trade laws.
The conference brought over 100 women-led businesses together. For Joy Business, Pius Kojubaka.
Sports gaming company BetPower has reiterated its commitment to supporting Ghana's sports economy. Speaking to Joy Business at a ceremony to award a check of 6 million cedis to Hussein Isiaka, the biggest winner ever on the BetPower Africa platform, country marketing manager Joseph Bedu said BetPower Ghana will support the development of sports in the country while empowering the youth.
As part of efforts to make sports gaming friendly with the interest of the customer at heart, sports betting company BetPower has presented a check of 6 million Ghana cedis to Fusaini, a young man who resides in Barikese, a town in the Ashanti region. Fusaini won the amount after placing multiple bets on the BetPower Aviator game. Joseph Bedu is the country marketing manager for BetPower Ghana.
I would say it's actually a very exciting moment for us. It's very exciting for us because to know that this proves what we always said about BetPower, that you can bet small and win big, is a really exciting moment for us, especially knowing who he is and where he came from. So I'm very excited about this. And then also on top of that, to reassure people that when you win whatever amount, BetPower has the capability to actually pay you those winnings. Actually, I wouldn't even say just Ghana. I think in Africa, this is one of the biggest winnings from Aviator game. Nobody has ever won this kind of money before.
On the development of the sports economy, here is what Joseph had to say.
Absolutely. I mean, as I said, it's a comprehensive betting company. So we do sports betting and we also do all these casino and virtual games. So yeah, absolutely. We are still interested in sports. Football. Yes.
Fusaini couldn't hide his joy.
I
never dreamt I'll win such an amount. All I want to say is that in everything that you do, you need to have faith. You need to commit everything to it and believe that one day you will surely make it. I want to say a big thank you to my mother, to my siblings, to my friends, and also to BetPower. I will urge everybody to patronize BetPower.
That's all for business. My name is Emma Davis. For more business news, do log on to myjoyonline.com. Up next is sports. Just stay.
Let's do sports now on Joy News Today with me, Muftau Abdullah. In the next couple of hours, the Black Stars will come up against Madagascar in its first game for the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers. Head coach of the team, Chris Hilton, has been speaking about the pressure of managing the senior national team. He says he's very much aware of what it means for Ghanaians ahead of that game against Madagascar.
The pressure that I'm under as head coach, that I'm always under, is to win football matches. And what we want to be able to do is we want to win football matches with good performances, score lots of goals and concede none. This is heaven. But we can't always have that. Ultimately, the most important thing is to make sure that we win. This is a group where we want to qualify, and the only way we can qualify is to finish this group in the best way, and the best way is to win football matches. So we are very conscious. We're very conscious of the demands of a public and what they want to see. But around that one, still always the most important thing is getting the wins that we need.
Well, Coach, good evening. My name is Solomon Amankwa from Onua Group. Prior to this game, there were a series of reports that the Executive Council of the Ghana Football Association had wanted to sack you if you don't win these games. Coming into the game, are you under pressure to win these games?
No, I have no problem with this question. My responsibilities are always is to get the correct results I need for this team, for the association, for the country, and for our supporters. It's the same in every game. The first game, the second game, the third game, nothing changes. Our responsibility as coaches is to get good results. That's all.
That's your sports for now. We do have more sports stories on myjoyonline.com. We appreciate your time.
Before we wrap up, let's do some health. The Ghana Health Service is teaming up with Farm Access Ghana to roll out the Safe Care Quality Improvement Program in the Savannah and Bono East regions. The collaborative initiative aims at enhancing healthcare quality and patient safety by introducing the Safe Care Standards and Quality Improvement Methodology in public health facilities. Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Patrick Kumabuaje, says the project demonstrates government's commitment to fostering resilience, high-quality healthcare delivery in Ghana.
As part of efforts to improve access to quality healthcare in the Savannah and Bono East region, the Ghana Health Service has forged an alliance with Farm Access Ghana to roll out the Safe Care Quality Improvement Program. The program, launched in December 2019, seeks to facilitate the training of medical professionals and support hospitals in providing quality healthcare to Ghanaians. It further assesses the performance of registered hospitals and ensures health providers meet the required internationally accredited standards. Since the rollout of the program in October 2022 in the north, 40 health facilities in the Savannah and Bono East regions have experienced a paradigm shift in their quality of healthcare delivery, having embraced the Safe Care Quality Standards and Improvement Methodology. Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Patrick Kumabuaje, after a supervisory visit to some of the facilities running the program, says government is leveraging technology to improve access to quality healthcare.
It was quite exciting to actually see what was going on. The first thing broadly that I saw was a sense of unity that the program has brought and the interconnectivity between departments, because they are all working towards making some achievements or making some changes that will improve the quality of care. So that is one. We also could see that the orderliness in which things were done. There are many things we take for granted, like broad IPC issues, information to patients, etc. You could see all of them have been done. And surprisingly, one of the hospitals that I have visited a year ago, that was before the program started, the environment, the unity, I was amazed at the environment that I saw. This was a place, the last time I went there were boxes in corridors. You could see some stench in the walls, etc. But these were all missing. And I know that they were not even expecting us that day. So for me, I think it's really something that is very, 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 very good in terms of touching on the critical things that improve quality and outcomes of patient care.
Executive Director of the Christian Health Association of Ghana, Dr. Peter Yeboah, who has been working with government to implement the Safe Care program, stressed the importance of collaborative efforts between government and private organizations to improve healthcare delivery in the country.
It is said that access to care is only impactful when the quality component is assured. In fact, access to poor health services is probably worse than no access.
And as I wrap up the bulletin this afternoon, my name is Aisha Ibrahim. Log on to myjoyonline.com for more of the news and updates of all. Do enjoy the rest of our program.